Hello, my name is Josh Ring, and this is my video for Homework 2 Part 3. For this part, the goal is to write code that will be able to extract information from a website, and then we will use that information in the Antoine equation as well as to model it. The website we will be using is the Dortmund Databank. So the first thing we need to do is open GitHub, which I already have done, and then I already have some of the code from the last part which will be used in this part. But we do need to start off with something new, so we need to type import JAX, and what that'll do is it'll bring JAX in, which is a huge calculator that we will be using to take the gradient, which will help us with the minimization function later. So the next thing we need to type is import jax.numpy as np, and this is just the numpy form of JAX, and we'll give it the name np jnp, and we'll give it that just so it's easier to type later. Next line of code that we'll need to type is from scipy.optimize import minimize, and what this will allow us to do is use the minimize function later on down the road. So the next line of code that we're going to have to write is from plotly.subplots, and then import make underscore subplots. And this is just the plotting library that will allow us to plot our data later on. So that one's done, and then the next thing we will need to type is import plotly.io as io, and then io.templates.default equals plotly underscore dark. And what this does, it will just make our plots dark. It has no purpose really other than just that for what we are doing. So we'll now shift enter, starting a new box, and the first thing that we are going to do, headphones got caught, sorry about that. We're going to create the variable fig, and so we type fig equals make underscore subplots rows equals 1, cols equals 1, and then not plus. And then what this is going to do is this is just going to make a subplot for us. So the next line of code, we're going to type fig.add underscore scatter, and this is just going to allow us to create a scatter plot. So we have to give it a little more detail, so we're just going to type x equals t, y equals log underscore pv, mode equals markers, and name equals data. So this is just going to set the x-axis to temperature, which is calling back from our previous part of homework that we did. It's calling back that variable. And then for the y, it's going to be the pressure, and then we're just making so that it's markers on the graph, little dots, and then we're just naming it data. Oop, I need single quotation right there. Get rid of that. Alright, so now the next thing we type is fig.update underscore layout width, we'll make 800, and we'll do the height 500. What this does is this just changes the size of our scatter plot. Nothing too complex with this one. And the next one we're going to do is we're adding axis titles. So to do that, we'll just type fig dot update underscore layout. Oh, yep. And then, because we're still changing the layout, we'll do x-axis underscore title equals quotation marks t k units because it's in Kelvin. And then for the y-axis, spelling that wrong, y-axis underscore title equals log P because it's the pressure, and then units pascals. So that line is done. And then we'll just do a quick fig.show to see if everything worked. Shift enter, and there we go. It has a very good looking figure. Just a couple empty plot points. That's from the website. They did that so we couldn't get all of their data. Alright, next step. We are going to create a model for the function for the Antoine equation. So we type def model, and then we'll use our variables a, b, c, and t from the equation. And then we're also going to need to do return a minus b divided by t plus, not equals, plus, not equals. And this will just give us the model value for the log pressure. So shift enter out of that. And now we'll go ahead and guess with our 3 different variables for a, b, and c. So to do that, we just type out a underscore guess, and we'll set that equal to 10.0, and then we'll have to do that for b. So b underscore guess equals, we'll do 2000 on that one. And then for c, same thing, c underscore guess. We'll guess 0.0 for that. And then, we'll need to create a variable for our array, and for our guesses, naming it xo. And then we have to type equals, and then in brackets, we'll have to specify our guesses. So we'll have to do a guess, b, and so on. We're gonna need a. Alright, so for the next thing, for the next step, we'll type def sq error, and then call our variables. And this function is going to take the variables as arguments and then return the error. So we'll get that all done. Alright. And then, oh, I forgot to put the colon. There we go. Okay, so then we'll do model underscore PV equals model, and then we'll refer to our other variables in this one. So x0, x1. And then temperature as well. And this is just going to calculate the value using the model that we just made a second ago, the one right up here. So the next line of code is going to be air equals JNP dot sum and then model underscore PV minus log underscore PV times 2. And this is just going to calculate the sum squared error for us, this line of code that we just typed in right here. So then finally we type in return error. We'll